My name is Alana Lillie, and I am presenting the pros of no-kill shelters. Some background information about some no-kill shelters. The ASPCA organization was one of the first societies against animal cruelty and has been since 1866, and they're still making a lot of big changes as time is going on to this day. In 1863, a man named Henry Burr stopped a man from beating his carriage horse after falling from exhaustion and then realized that he could make an impact on society. Burr founded the ASPA on the clear belief that all animals are entitled to kind and respectful treatment and must be protected under the law. Some facts about no-kill shelters is that they must have a saving rate of 90% to be considered no-kill. And under Best Friends guidance, almost 50% of the country's animal shelters are no-kill. Animal shelters are historically the number one reason why animals die due to euthanasia and getting put down. Some history about no-kill. This is a picture of Henry Burr on the side, so this is what he looked like. The U.S. Humane Society reports that there are currently over 3,500 brick and mortar animal shelters and over 10,000 rescue groups currently in the United States. And the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, SPCA, was established in the United States in 1866 by Henry Burr, who faced a lot of skepticism when he first started out, but he helped grow the movement just because a lot of people didn't see the reasoning behind why animals should get the care that a lot of animals get today, like humane treatment. The very first no-kill shelter, defining no-kill principles and the philosophies about it. They focus on saving lives with a quality alternative to killing. Euthanasia limited to cases of severe illness or aggression, so terminal illnesses, stuff that, causes the animal to suffer, or aggression that even they'll bring in experts to help, train the animal and try and get it to trust. But if even the experts that they bring in cannot help, then that is when euthanasia will become involved. Services tailored to local needs, including lifetime care, high volume adoptions, and public education. So they'll make sure that they have the care that they need. And these high volume adoptions, they bring a lot of attention to these adoption sites. I know places like PetSmart, they usually have some adoptions quite often, and they make sure that their customers know about it and occasionally will have commercials and ads about it. And they also, they make sure that the people that are adopting these animals have the proper education to be able to care for the animals that they're adopting. Some community engagement. They advocate and aim to make the public stakeholders in animal welfare, encouraging responsibility for pets. So a little bit like the last topic, they make sure that the people adopting know how to properly take care of their animals. The first animal shelter in the U.S. was founded in 1869 by the Women's SPCA of Pennsylvania. And they initially focused on horses, a little bit like Henry Burr. His first interaction of helping an animal was saving a horse, but it later expanded to include dogs, cats, and other animals. The early beginnings. In the mid 20th century, independent caregivers began rescuing homeless animals with the goal of keeping them alive, and this defied the standard practices of euthanizing stray and abandoned animals in shelters, which, like I said, shelters are one of the number one leading causes of animal deaths, and we're trying to push that away from being the standard. And these independent caregivers are usually like foster homes for animals, and they typically help with getting the animal adopted by posting them on social media, taking care of them, making sure that they don't get behavioral issues, and they're comfortable with being around humans and possibly other animals as well. The spay and neuter efforts, there is preventative measures against overpopulations. This began in the 1930s and aligned with the grassroots efforts, forming the foundation of the no-kill philosophy. And a lot of shelters will now spay and neuter animals when they come into the shelter. That way, if they ever end up being a stray again, that they cannot reproduce out in the wild, trying to keep the population down. In 1993, the ASPCA is the first organization to begin using microchips as a way of identification, and this helps with any lost dogs that end up in shelters and makes sure that dogs don't get taken or adopted by other people, even though they already have a home. The development of no-kill shelters. Early shelters focused less on population control and more on addressing cruelty, making sure that the animals were cared for correctly. And over time, euthanasia rates decreased as behavioral training, spay-neuter programs, and fostering became more common, making it easier for them to deal with their overpopulation in the shelters. Excuse me. And Women's Animal Center launched one of the first humane education programs to instill compassion in the youth. Some ethical aspects in no-kill. No-kill shelters prioritize finding a home for the animal they take in and only resort to euthanasia for animals that are terminally ill or extremely aggressive. Like I said, they bring in experts to make sure that they cannot train the aggression. No-kill shelters make it a point to emphasize adoption programs, rehabilitation, and community events hoping to reduce euthanasia and promote responsible pet ownership. So they make sure that they're getting adopted by the right families, and if they're having any kind of trouble, they do some rehabilitation before they're adopted out, and that way the new owners don't return. These shelters continue to try and find new innovative ways to save more animals, and debates come to the surface over the ethics of euthanasia versus quality of life, which comes into play when animals are terminally ill or extremely aggressive. And no-kill shelters represent a compassionate and evolving approach to animal welfare. Here are some of the principles of no-kill shelters. They have a commitment to life, where every animal's life is valuable and every animal deserves to find a good permanent home. They value medical and behavioral rehabilitation, whether it's medical or behavioral. They help prepare them for adoption and placement programs. They emphasize adoption programs like offsite adoptions, partnerships with rescue groups, and creative marketing strategies, like the use of TikTok to increase animal visibility and adoption rates, community engagement, like I said, the educational programs, some volunteering. That way we reduce overpopulation and promote responsible pet ownership. And euthanasia is a last resort. Cultural importance of no-kill shelters. No-kill is not a definition, it is a culture. The ultimate goal is to save every animal, and the only animals that are harmed are the ones who are suffering. Terminally ill is usually what they mean by that. No turning away animals due to no space or health. A philosophy that rejects the idea of that the best we can do as animals in shelters is adopt them out or destroy them. Which means they either, reach out to foster homes or rehabilitation, but they do not always go to euthanasia as a solution. The sociological importance of no-kill shelters is a reflection of our society. I'm Pet Services. The increase of no-kill shelters around the world is actually a direct reflection of human society. And the rise of no-kill shelters is a positive change of how humans value animal lives. And humane has, over time, become a new definition, one where euthanasia is barely a part of, except for extreme cases. Having respect for life and not putting a timer on life. There shouldn't be a timer on an animal's life when they come into a shelter. Some current events that are happening right now. A dog or cat is killed every 90 seconds in American shelters, but with the help of no-kill, 83% of animals were saved in the US in 2023. Also in 2023, 3 states remained no-kill, 1 new one, and 4 were within 200 animals of being no-kill. According to Best Friends Animal Society, compared to the 625,000 cats and dogs that were killed in 2019, only 347,000 were killed in 2020. So, pretty much a 300,000 drop. And in 2016, the save rate went from 71% to 83%. Some more stats. In 2023, only 1.2 million cats and 1.1 million dogs were adopted, meaning the percentages went down. This is a little bit due to the pandemic. The media enjoyed the idea of a pandemic puppy, only for owners to end up getting rid of them after the pandemic ended, leaving a lot of pets in need of a home and ending up in shelters because their owners could no longer take care of them because they had gone back to work. Some more stats on animals that are getting entered into shelters and getting adopted. But the number of euthanized animals is steadily declining along with the number of animals entering shelters. Over time, except for a little bit of difference while we exited the pandemic. Here are the pros of no-kill shelters. The idea of no-kill is to save more animals, and these shelters are doing just that. But there is still some euthanasia processes in place for animals that are suffering. The number of euthanized animals have gone down from 20 million to 3 million. And the ideas of no-kill Shelters tends to boost adoption rates because it makes people feel less guilty when they're visiting the shelter and going out to adopt. The word no kill brings in more money donations, and 90% of animals in no kill shelters are being saved. And like before, euthanations are saved for animals that are extremely ill or extremely dangerous. And shelters will not euthanize to free up space like regular animal shelters will. Some more pros. Animals in no-kill shelters are usually healthier and more energetic. They usually spend less time before they're being adopted. In 2015, the SPCA in San Francisco had a live release rate of 93%, meaning they got adopted or found foster home or are in rehabilitation and working on finding a permanent home. And less animals are turned away, meaning less wild reproduction. In conclusion, there are many positive outcomes that come with no-kill shelters. Not only do more animals have a chance of finding a forever home, they simply have the chance of life. Animals don't have to worry about being turned away or put down simply because shelters don't have enough space, and with no-kill shelters becoming more apparent, our society has a positive reflection on humane management. The idea of no-kill shelters have been a work in progress as early as the 1860s, but humanity has made some serious progress in the last 15 years. As time has gone on, more people are adopting from no-kills and wild populations have slowly decreased. And here is my works cited page. Thank you very much for watching.